Hi guys, welcome back to LPB Racing for the Super Formula Championship on GT Sport. This is round 2 from Tokyo South in a loop. We're here for the sprint race. It's a 9-lap race. So the first sprint race, and we're going to take you through the grid. It is Neil Farmack on pole position, so really good pole for him. Keith in second place, fantastic qualifying for Keith, best qualifying so far. Seek in third with a little bit of weight on. Unforgiven in fourth, who was the he's a returning guy. He returns for odd races he can. He's used to race with us in another group under a different name. So welcome back to him. Homesick Alien in 5th place. We've got Rodders in 6th. Will in 7th, Bidzster is down in 8th, he's got maximum ballast on from last time. Thundercats is in 9th, and then we've got Firepower in 10th, Techno in 11th, and TY rounds off the 12. So TY late into the session, which is why he couldn't complete a lap. So let's get ready for the race then. Here we go. Lights will be coming on in a minute, and revs are up. And it's lights out, away we go. Keith gets a rubbish start there. Keith gets loads of wheel spin, doesn't move anywhere. Neil goes into the lead, a bit of bumping and boring further back. We've got Will and Homesick on the inside. Then Rod is getting squeezed out. This is going to be a very fast-paced race. Then we've got Homesick, Will, Bidzster up among them as well. But remember, he's got the weight on, so he's not going to get very far up in this race, I don't think, but he'll try. Seat 1. Right behind Keith, looking for second place, and everyone else trying to fight for every single other position that there is available. Bidzster goes wide, and then Unforgiven there, back to 8th place from 4th, so not a good start for Unforgiven there, as Bidzster and Unforgiven go side by side through the complex. Thundercats and Techno very close at the back as well. Rodders right behind Will, through the right-hander, onto the back straight. Good stuff here as we go under the tunnel. Homesick from Will, and Unforgiven and Bidzster side by side, but remember Bidzster running maximum ballast in this, so he'll not have the top end speed or the acceleration. So as we go down to the hairpin then, Neil Farmack in the lead with a little bit of a penalty, but no worries, as Keith ahead in seat 1 in second place. Rodders, Homesick, Will, Unforgiven and Bidzster into the hairpin. Unforgiven goes wide, Bidzster gets run on the inside, and Unforgiven snaps the car across, because he just wheel spun the car out the corner and gets in front of Bidzster and manages to keep him off. But then look, Bidzster just cannot accelerate in that car, and he's just got no acceleration in that Williams with the weight on, and it's just not helping him. As seat 1 hits the wall, everyone hitting that wall on the outside there. So almost everyone really mucking up that corner, as Unforgiven looks to make a pass on Will here. Will defends the inside, so not yet, as Techno's on the inside of Bidzster. Bidzster losing out in a straight line speed. Techno goes wide, Bidzster goes straight back through. Have that's the experience versus youth for you. So Techno's coming back, and Firepower is as well, because of the weight of Bidzster's car. Techno's on the boots trying to get past. Doesn't really need to use it, to be honest, to get past, but he's got doing it anyway. Techno goes on the inside of Bidzster, but Bidzster's right back up the inside and not giving up. Right back up the inside and takes the place back, so have that. So Bidzster will fight back, not letting the weight try and factor in what he's going to do. So Neil Farmack and Keith pulling away then. Seek going back into the hands of Homesick Alien in 4th. Then we've got Rodders in 5th, Will 6th, Unforgiven 7th. Bidzster with a pack behind him. Techno, Firepower, TY. They're all constituting up behind him. They all can't get past either. Remember, Bidzster is the best rolling roadblock we've got in this league. Going to the hairpin. There's a little look, but no way through yet. So Firepower has a little look at his teammate, again no way through either. So Neil Farmack and Keith at the front. Keith pressurising Neil. Really good to see Keith up there. There he is in the Cannon Williams car. Oh, as Neil makes a little mistake. I thought he made a little mistake there. I think he just got rid of the penalty spot because he lifted off a bit. But Keith, fantastic run of form so far. Second place in this one so far. Brilliant race for him. Seat 1 and the Homesick still very close together for 3rd and 4th. Rodders on his own in 5th. Will and Unforgiven still battling it out. And Unforgiven goes right behind Will. And there's contact out the corner. Bidzster's been passed by Techno on the straight. That's not surprising because of the weight. And TY's carrying weight from last time as well. That's why he's further back down the order in 11th, and Thundercats has gone down to 12th. As Unforgiven goes up the inside of Will. makes the pass. Techno tries to get through, can't quite do it. Bidzster's going to be snapping at their heels in a minute, trying to get a good run out of the corner if he can. Techno then goes to the outside. Bidzster behind. Let's go on the cockpit camera of Bidzster, the new camera. There's Techno going behind us, and you can't see crap with that halo, so it is rubbish. But you can see there in the mirror, you can see Techno closing up. But yeah, those halos are pointless. But still decent on board. We'll just go back off that now, back to the outside shot as we've got TY closing up to this battle as well. Techno, firepower, TY into the corner. Thundercats trying to join in on the fray as well. So Bidzster with a line of cars behind him, and also Will and Unforgiven, not exactly what you call pulling away either. But up front it's still Neil versus Keith. Keith's lap time looks a bit dodgy, doesn't it? With 1:34.666, that's telling the devil something. But Keith right behind Neil as he does a 34.3, fastest lap of the race for Keith. 1/10 faster than Neil Farmack that last time round. Gets a good run out the corner, but again gets up in the draft and can't quite do anything. Seat 1 and Homesick Alien, they're being caught slowly by Rodders. So Rodders closed up in 5th. Then we've got Unforgiven in 6th. He's pulling away from Will in 7th. Bidzster's up to 8th, but again, Techno's going to try and find a way past. So Bidzster and Techno having a titanic battle in this race. Down to the next corner. Will Techno go for it on the inside? I think he might do. No, he's not. Backs out of it sensibly. As we've got Firepower. Then we've got Thundercats up the inside of TY there. So Thundercats passes TY up the inside and takes the 11th place. TY down to last. Meanwhile, up at the front, Keith still harassing the back of Neil Farmack, but still can't find a way through yet. Come on, Keith, you've got all that boost to use it. There's Neil, again, not used any of his boost either, but either that or he's forgotten about it. But Neil goes into the hairpin then, in the lead of the race. Keith follows, takes a little bit of a tighter line, tries to get a run out of the corner, can't quite do it. Seat 1's been passed by Alien on the inside. Alien gets a rubber, he hugs the curb and gets the car mounted on the curb. And gets the car stuck, so then he goes back down to 5th. So Rodders then makes up places. Just shows you don't give up, guys. As Unforgiven now under pressure from Will, and Bidzster and Techno still nose to tail behind. Bidzster doing well to keep 8th place so far with that weight on, because that weight is at least a couple of seconds a lap slower. You know, he has done a 36.7, but I would imagine that's a lot more draft than anything. As Will and Unforgiven go side by side, and Will goes through to 6th place, Unforgiven down to 7th. Down to the next corner, Will thinks about defending a little bit. He's going to compromise his exit. Unforgiven goes back to the inside and gets a good run. And gets past. There's Bidzster and Techno side by side again. Techno using his boost to try and get alongside, but Bidzster's still not used. I don't think Bidzster's used any of his yet. No, he's not. So Bidzster's not phased here. They catch right up to Will and Unforgiven as Unforgiven goes up the inside of Will again, so back up to 6th place goes Unforgiven. Meanwhile, Keith still harassing the back of Neil, but still can't find a way through. Neil Farmack's sitting on the racing line, doing exactly what he needs to do to keep Keith behind. But again, Keith not using, he's used a little bit of his overtake, but not a lot as Neil defends the inside. Keith looks to the outside. Go on, Keith, chuck one up the inside, see if you can do it, but no, can't do it yet. Still, Neil Farmack leads the way from Keith. It's Homesick Alien and Seek. Alien goes for the inside of the hairpin. Alien up the inside into the hairpin, little lock up, but gets the car round this time without hugging the curb too much and takes 3rd place back. So Homesick back up to 3rd, Seat 1 in 4th, Rodders down to 5th. Will, Unforgiven and Techno and Bidzster all together at the same time. All really close together. Techno looks up the inside, still can't quite get past Bidzster before that corner. Into the complex. This is where the weight will hurt Bidzster, especially into this next corner. He'll have to lift off and probably brake a little bit compared to the rest. Into the corner. Little tap of the wall as Will and Unforgiven tap the wall as well. And Techno's going to go straight through. Now we'll have to watch Firepower see if he does, but Bidzster gets on the boost. Trying to keep up with Techno. Techno looking at Unforgiven ahead. Round that corner. And it is all very close, all nip and tuck. Quick look to the front. Neil Farmack's done the lead from Keith. Seat 1, Homesick and Rodders all down to the next corner. Rodders hits his teammate. Seat 1, and I should point out why they are teammates, because unfortunately We have lost Callum from this championship due to a sudden illness, so very unfortunate for Callum. So keep fighting, Callum. We're all thinking about you, and hopefully in a few seasons' time he'll be able to make a return. But yeah, so Rodders then, because his teammate abandoned the group before the actual season started. Rodders and Seat 1 have now been paired together. So Rodders in the ex-Callum car, and they're going to try and do Callum proud. So let's see if he can. As we look back at Will, who's in front from Bidzster, and where's Unforgiven gone? Unforgiven's gone right back to 11th. So there's been some kind of major incident there, so we'll get a replay on that. So what happened to Unforgiven and Techno on lap 6, so watch here. As Techno brakes very, very late and then hits Unforgiven and takes them both up into the wall, and that's how they both fell down the order. So as you come back from that then, Unforgiven back in 11th place, up the inside of TY, dive, and gets the move done, but Will's in the wall! Will's in the wall, and Bidzster's slowing down, so there's been contact there as well. So again, another replay. Will and Bidzster are coming down into the hairpin, watch here, Bidzster just, they break at the same time, but Bidzster just lets it roll into the corner a bit more. But I think also as well, he wasn't expecting Will to actually brake that hard initially as well, so Bidzster, luckily though, waits for Will to rejoin. There he is, and then we rejoin behind him. So as we come back from that one then, Neil Farmack still in the lead of the race from Keith in second. Hats off to Keith in this one, really taking it to Neil, but also hats off to Neil, because you've got to have the pace to do it in the first place. So good job by both these two guys, and they're really pushing each other hard. Seek 1 in third place from Alien and Rodders, so it's Seek, Alien and then Rodders. All very close together as well. Alien in the draft, looking for a way through. Let's go on board with the helmet cam. Into the corner we go. Seat 1's on the outside, on the inside. We're trying to go around the outside of him. Very brave stuff. We're still there and can't quite get it done as we go around the exit of the corner. Still can't quite get through yet as we switch to Rodders' camera. But there we go. Onto the back straight we go. As Firepower then into 6th place after all that. Thundercats up to 7th, Unforgiven in 8th. Will in 9th, TY 10th, and Bidzster all the way back down in 11th, and Techno's gone back down to 12th position as well. So it all kicked off there. So everything kicked off at once, but we're all back on track as Neil and Keith exit the hairpin. Power up the hill. You see Keith's used about a third of his boost, and Neil's still not used any, so unless he's waiting for the last few laps, or he's forgotten about it. But you shouldn't really be able to. You shouldn't really forget about your boost, because it's quite important. But Seek is in 3rd place now, ahead of Alien, and Alien's got lots of boost to use. And Seek's only got half to use. Remember, we can see this, but they can't while they're racing. So we can see this, but they can't. As obviously they can see how much they've got themselves, but they can't see how much that another person's got unless you want to look at that roll hoop all the time. That green roll hoop, it sort of indicates how that if you've got green, you've got quite a bit of boost, or red, you've not got much left. As you can see, Rodders is red. With Rodders, if you look at the graphic there, he's got less than a quarter, so he's not got much remaining there. On lap 8 out of 9 now. And as we look back to the previous group, Thundercats in 6th, ahead of Firepower now. Unforgiven behind in 8th place. Right behind Firepower. Remember, Unforgiven used to be Alex H, that used to be his name. So remember Alex from the old races from the other group before, if you followed us for a long time. And in fact, Thundercats gets ahead in that one, and then Unforgiven's up the inside of Firepower, trying to get it done, but Firepower not giving up. It seems that with age, Firepower gets faster. Brilliant. Firepower goes through and then doesn't leave much room for Alex to play with, or for Unforgiven to play with, as Will gets right behind him as well. All very close, all 3 cars as one. Quickly changed to the leaders. Keith still can't find a way past Neil. He's got one more lap to do it. He's got half his tank of boost to use as well. Seat 1 and Alien almost side by side at the hairpin as Alien gets a big twitch, and Rodders goes through into 4th place. That's all it takes. There's Firepower, Unforgiven and Will all together, almost contacted. Thunder's in the pits. Thunder's outbraked himself into the pits. Will's waiting, so there must have been contact there. So again, we'll get a replay to clarify. Okay, here's a replay what happened between Will and all the other guys. So into the corner we go. But Will brakes very late and just cowabunga, bang! Then he hits Alex, and then obviously Alex runs into Thunder, and then Will generously waits, but we'll just get another angle on that for you as well. Okay, here we are now on board with Will, so watch here as we go into the corner, watch the telemetry as well, so we're not braking, still not braking, leaves it way too late, just avoids Alex and then hits Thunder off in towards the pit lane, and does actually force Alex wide as well, but he obviously couldn't turn, so, but Will does kindly sacrifice his positions and wait for Thunder, but hopefully he'll learn from that mistake. As we come back from that, Rodders and Seat 1 side by side, on to the last lap now. Rodders takes 3rd place, Seat 1 in 4th, Alien in 5th, and still up front, Neil Farmack leads the race from Keith. Keith still can't find a way past. Got half a tank of boost to use, so let's see how much he uses. See if he uses a bit, he's on it now, there we go. Neil Farmack still not used any, so he must have forgot about his boost. And he's still winning the race, that's rubbing salt in the wounds of Keith, but still onwards we go. Rodders in 3rd, Seat 1 with Homesick Alien trying to get into the gearbox of his car. And then we've got Firepower in a very good 6th place, Unforgiven 7th, TY in 8th, Bidzster in 9th, Thundercats 10th, and 11th is Techno, and Will's down to 12th, but Techno tries to go down the outside of Thunder there, makes contact, but Thunder lets him go even though it wasn't his fault, so a bit aggressive there by Techno, and Will says thank you boys, if you're playing the after you game I'll just go straight through and take all the positions. But meanwhile here we go, up to the last few corners, Neil Farmack and Keith. Keith's got a couple of opportunities left. He's probably going to have to rely on a really killer run out of this last corner if he can do it. Onto the brakes, into the corner, little lift. Oh, Neil hits the wall! Neil hits the wall! This could be the defining moment as we go towards the line. Keith's on the boost, Neil moves across. Neil just wins the race by, not even a 1/10 of a second. Neil Farmack wins the race. Keith a very well-deserved 2nd place. And Rodders is going to be 3rd, I think, because Alien hits the wall with him. Seat does as well, so it's going to be Rodders for the podium. So Rodders takes Callum's seat and still finishes on the podium. Well done to Rodders. Homesick Alien in 4th, Seek in 5th, so they're the top 5 that will get weight in the next one. Firepower just shows you if you're in the right place at the right time, you make up places. Firepower then takes a well-deserved 6th place. Well done to Firepower. Unforgiven is going to be in 7th, and Bidzster's up to 8th on this last lap. Unforgiven 7th, Bidzster 8th, and then we've got TY in 9th. Will is going to be in 10th, then it's going to be Techno in 11th, and Thundercats is going to round off the 12th. So after all that hectic race, we'll get those results confirmed for you now, guys. Okay guys, here's the results from that then. So Neil Farmack just wins that race by 73 thousandths of a second from Keith in 2nd place. Brilliant race by them. Rodders in 3rd, 4th for Homesick Alien, 5th for Seek 1, they'll all carry weight in the next race. Firepower a fantastic 6th, Unforgiven 7th, Bidzster in 8th, 9th is TY, 10th for Will, 11th for Techno, and 12th for Thundercat. Neil with the fastest lap then, a 1:34.329. So there is your winner, Neil Farmack. We'll try and get a view of the car. There he is, Neil Farmack in the blue car and Keith in the blue and yellow car to the right there in 2nd place. So Neil Farmack wins that race. Well done to him, and we will see you guys next time for race 2. Take care, guys.